DC the beat man. DC the beat man.
So epic.
What's up, everybody? It's your favorite show, Get a Bucket. I'm your host, Train, as usual. Hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful day. And as you can see, we got my guy Reese here. Reese, how's everything with you, man?
Hey, man. Still mourning, but we live on. We move on. We cry at night. We still cry at night. Yep.
I'm surprised you didn't have a background. No background today, huh? No.
We're gonna be in a nice suburban home. That's what the NFL wants to project. They want to project suburbia until it's not time to project suburbia.
I feel that. I feel that. Well, look, we're going to get right on into it because obviously y'all can tell he's got the Eagles sweatshirt on. Obviously, he said it was morning. So we're going to talk about the Super Bowl real quick. Now, Reese, I do, again, sorry for your loss, but it was a good game, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm not mistaken, the game was 38-35. Both quarterbacks played pretty well. And I mean, shout out to Jalen Hurts and them boys. But the Chiefs did win. And so now we got to start asking ourselves, some questions, right? And I know everyone's been talking about this, but Reese, do you believe the Chiefs are a dynasty? And if not, what do they need to become a dynasty? Because they've won, 2 championships now, or 2 Super Bowls, and have gone to like 3?
Yeah, 2 and then 5 conference championship appearances.
Yeah, so I mean, are they a dynasty now? Is that equivalent to a dynasty for you? Because I know football and basketball are different. So what's your take on that?
I feel like it has to be, and if not, then it's definitely on the verge. You know what I mean? Like, but I can't say that like, do they have to win this coming year to be a dynasty? I don't think so, because of how, like, people don't win the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like, that's not it's not a common thing. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't even get to conference championships. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like you said, the difference between basketball and football, you can always tell when a basketball dynasty is being established because of the longevity, consecutive wins, you know what I mean?
Right.
Things like that. Whereas for football, it's one game. And I mean, shit happens, So it's like,
and even in the playoffs too, it's harder to get to the Super Bowl. It's one game, like you said, as opposed to a series. So anything can happen in one game.
Right. So I mean, me personally, if Philly had done what they done, I'd be screaming dynasty. I don't know how you couldn't, to be honest, especially considering what the Chiefs lost offensively, able to kind of stay relevant. I mean, Mahomes MVP, Super Bowl MVP. It's kind of like, I mean, if they don't have a dynasty, they got the cornerstone of a dynasty in Patrick Mahomes in itself and Travis Kelce. You know what I mean? Kind of like when you got, I mean, they showed it every time he did anything, but Travis Kelce leads the postseason, or maybe second in postseason touchdowns right now. Which is ridiculous.
Facts. Now, let me ask you about this, right? Because like you said, like I agree, they are forming a dynasty. Like, it's tough to when I think dynasty, I think NBA, right? So like, you got to think 3 championships. I just said they have 2. Yeah. But like we also said too, it's tough to win a Super Bowl probably than it is the NBA championship. Absolutely. But that also could be a discussion too. So, we may need to talk about it later on. But
that's a good question.
Patrick Mahomes, he hasn't played that much, but he hasn't played that much football yet, right? And he's already got 2 Super Bowls, like 2 MVPs, like. What does Buddy need to be the GOAT? Because, I mean, we saw him get dog walked by the GOAT before. Come on, little fella. So, I mean, we've seen that. But, like, if Patrick Mahomes surpasses Tom Brady in the Super Bowl MVPs.
So, this is what I would say to that, right? I'm going to be honest. Once Tom Brady, first year, beat Mahomes in the Super Bowl, I personally said that Mahomes could never be the GOAT because he lost to the GOAT. You know what I mean? Like, we never had a Braun Kobe finals. We never had a Kobe Mike finals. We never had a Mike Kareem finals. You know what I mean? So you never had the predecessor GOAT going up against, you know what I mean, the young, grasshopper.
Now, let me ask you this though, because remember when Miami Heat played OKC, and the Miami won 4-1, right? Like, some would consider that a dog walk, right? It's a gentleman's sweep, but I said, well, the Heat were fortunate to play OKC because of the timing. They caught OKC at like the beginning, like they were still little babies essentially. Do you give that any credence? Like, can we sneak Patty Mahomes in because of that now? Like, oh well, Patrick Mahomes did play Tom Brady when Patrick Mahomes was younger, and Tom Brady, yes, was older, but he wasn't this year Tom Brady. This was like.
See, that's the thing though, right? And we talked about it on when we talked about the last topic real quick, but it's like it's one game, right? If you remember it, the Chiefs O-line was decimated that game. So it's like, I mean, it was one game. And here's the other thing, the other difference between basketball and football is more of a team sport because it's 11 on 11. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know what I mean? So it's like, the GOAT conversation for football has always been like, you got to look at a guy like Montana who's like 4-0 in the Super Bowl, right? You know what I mean? A lot of people still consider him the GOAT because he never lost, which is kind of what people give MJ because he never lost.
I was gonna say,
you know what I mean? So it's like now that that's what I was saying. Mahomes has lost in the Super Bowl and he lost to the GOAT. So it's like, can he surpass Tom Brady in terms of accolades? I believe so. But the problem is Tom Brady was never an Aaron Rodgers talent. Tom Brady was just always the guy who made it and won. You know what I mean? You give him the ball with 2 minutes, you knew like, God damn, this man's about to do it again. You know what I mean? Whereas like Patrick Mahomes, we look at him right now as like the most talented player in the league.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because of what he can do with the football in his hand. I mean, even on one leg,
he did his thing. And that's what I'm saying. Because of that talent, plus Tom Brady's accomplishments, if he surpasses Tom Brady, I got to think, okay, well, later on in life, folks are going to say Patrick Mahomes is the GOAT. Just like how people are going to try to make a point that, Braun is, the GOAT. Nah, not really. Like, you still got MJ.
I personally feel like, what? Brady's 7-4, 7-3.
7 who else they lose? I know the Giants twice, and then who else?
And then Philly.
3.
7-3, right? So, I mean, Mahomes right now in the Super Bowl is 2-1 because they didn't make it. So, I don't know. I mean, he has the potential to go on an historic run, but I do feel like the talent, just like, you know what I mean? I feel
it sounds like you're knocking him because of the talent. Because personally, I'm looking at Patrick Mahomes like he's going to have Andy Reid, but not for the entirety of his career, I don't believe. Like, I think at some point in time, Andy Reid does retire. So if he's able to win championships with 2 different coaches too, I mean, yes, Tom Brady did that as well.
When I was saying talent just now, I was saying the talent that he's going to have to face to keep winning. Like, I feel like
that's fair. Do you give Patrick Mahomes any credit for that? Because I know some people give credit.
Yeah, I mean,
as well.
I feel like it's the same credit that you can, or it's the same argument people use against Braun, right?
That's also
like Braun couldn't do it, but look who he played against. I mean, how many mobile quarterbacks did Tom Brady beat in the Super Bowl? When it really becomes 11 on 11, you know what I mean? I mean, look what Jalen Hurts did. When you got a quarterback that's, I mean, we had 4th and 5 conversions doing QB power runs, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, like, when you don't have to throw the ball and we're doing QB sneaks to just get a first down, you know what I mean? It's kind of like, what is Patrick Mahomes going to have to face? I personally feel like he can be the GOAT if he beats out the talent consistently. I mean, guys like Lamar, Joe Burrow. I mean, people are already trying to say Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in the league, whatever that means. I mean, I personally feel like it's because he's.
I haven't heard that, but I mean, that's another story for another day. Now, let me ask you about this, right? Because we did kind of hint at him a little bit. Travis Kelce, real fast. How much longer do you think he'll be able to sustain this level of success? How much longer will the Chiefs be able to sustain their level of success with Travis Kelce as the top option. Again, my Panthers, you know what I mean? Cam Newton, we did have Greg Olsen. We were able to make a few things shake. But,
Right.
I mean,
I personally feel like,
sometimes.
yeah, at 33, you kind of alluded to a little bit when you talked about Mahomes not having Andy Reid for his entire, career. He won't have Travis Kelce for his entire career.
Mm-hmm.
So what? I feel like Kelce. Well, then you look at a guy like Gronk who retires and comes back and wins a ring. You know what I mean? So it's like, do I think that Kelce can keep being him? No. Do I think he could turn into a possession tight end who just knows how to get open and becomes his quarterback's just most trusted target, especially in the red zone, and he just knows how to read coverages and how to get open? I think that he can do that for a look. He's 33 now. I don't really think I don't think he gonna pull a Brady and be playing till he's 40 plus. Don't get me wrong, but like if he can play sort of the role that I just said for the next 3 years, I think that puts them in a good position to at least get ready to draft another talent or sign another talent. Probably not sign another talent. It's not. You look at the top tight ends in the league. You got Travis Kelce, Kittle, Mark Andrews, Dallas Goedert, and then from there it goes. You know what I mean? Whoever you think after that. I don't know how you find another tight end talent like that. You got to just let it draw.
Yeah, that's tough to replace. Like I said, we had Greg Olsen, and we don't really have we haven't really had a backup or a tight end to replace him. So, and that's no disrespect to the tight ends. It's just that's a tough talent to replace. Similar with the quarterback. It's no slouch. Now, let me ask you this though. They got Patrick Mahomes. They got Travis Kelce still. They got their team in place still.
Mm-hmm.
Do you expect the Chiefs to run it back?
I do think that the Chiefs are set up for the next 3 years to consistently make it to the Super Bowl.
That'll be interesting.
As long as they have Travis Kelce, Kansas City will always be. It's funny because when you think of NBA again, I'm gonna keep making those references. When you think NBA, you think small market. I feel like Kansas City has become a San Antonio. You know what I mean? Where it's they win. So it means if you want to win and you want to play play under a great coach like Andy Reid and play next to a great talent like Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and you want to win,
they'll get those free agents and they'll really come over there. I get that. Yeah. Okay. So they'll be set up. They have the talent. It's almost like the Warriors a little bit too, nowadays, because you have the
Warriors is probably a better example too.
Yeah, it's present day. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we had to give our flowers to the champions, right? But Reese, I think you might, this might be a bittersweet topic for you. The Eagles. I'm gonna start it off with something nice. That way you can get your, your energy going, flowing nicely. Were they lucky? Was this a lucky season, bro? We talked about the Chiefs dynasty. Eagles, this y'all first year getting to the Super Bowl. This team.
We won it too in the Super Bowl.
I'm talking about this team.
This team. Yeah.
Not in the history.
Well, I personally don't. I've been saying it all season. Even when we were on the verge of going undefeated, you can only play who's in front of you. Right. Now the NFL has taken that into account, and let me tell you, our schedule for next season is a lot better. Everybody's getting what they asked for because apparently the Philly had too easy of a schedule. So we got Kansas City, Miami, the Niners. We got them all. You know what I mean? And I love it personally. I feel like I want that type of competition because I do feel like we needed that. Everybody was saying we hadn't played anybody, but Philly fans knew we hadn't played anybody. But it's you want to be tested.
Yeah.
People always talk about being tested, right?
It shows you where you really are.
We weren't able to be tested in the playoff because the Vikings lost to the Giants. I don't think the Vikings would have been that big of a difference. I feel like we still would have crushed the Vikings because I didn't really believe in Minnesota. But the 49ers not having a quarterback was huge. You hear Cowboy fans.
That was a deal breaker personally.
Yeah, you hear Cowboy fans saying we got lucky that they lost quarterbacks, but it's I was telling them the entire time, it's hard to throw the ball when you're on your back. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah, the Cowboys never got to the quarterback. We did. We didn't get to Mahomes. We lost. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that it was simple. It's simple math, but we never sacked Mahomes. We lost. The Cowboys never sacked the 49ers QB. They lost. So it's like it's hard.
Y'all were dog walking all the other teams prior to the Chiefs. So I mean, and, you know, it's the Super Bowl. It's y'all first. It's this team's first time getting there too. So that might have had something to do with it as well. Right. Let me ask you this though, right? Because I mean, like I said, y'all did y'all thing. And I don't think you guys were necessarily lucky. You know, your defense I thought was stout. Again, I was telling you, my barber was telling me how, you know, they hadn't really played anybody like you were mentioning. I'm like, bro, they seem solid. Like I was a Jacksonville Jaguars fan week 4. Like I was telling Freddie this too. Like, yo, Trevor Lawrence not bad. Like this Jaguars team looks solid. And y'all
behind Jacksonville because of WP.
And y'all dogged them. Like you guys made them look like, oh, this is.
And that was I think that was Mahomes' first. I think that was Mahomes' first pick 6 of the season, or pick that turned into an eventual score for the other team, and we actually had to fight back. That was, I think, probably our first game that season. We actually had to come back from a deficit, and we looked good. You know what I mean? Walking back from that. So that was probably the most adversity we had faced for real. Chicago.
You talking about Lawrence? You're talking about Lawrence?
Yeah, going against the Jaguars in that game. It's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, but I'm like, yo, their defense, like that was what sold it for me personally. That was early on in the season too. So I like your defense. But
you know, when your defense spends the entire game on their chest because of the grass.
Yeah. I mean, but look, you mentioned the Chiefs were trying to, are set up nicely for the next 3 years. And I look at Jalen Hurts and I'm like, well, y'all look pretty set up your damn selves. Let me ask you this. Is Jalen Hurts the next Donovan McNabb? Because they both began the playoffs at age 24 and went to the Super Bowl year 3. So I'm like, is he going to be the next Donovan McNabb, quote unquote? Like, is that fair to say? Because I mean, I do kind of see some type of similarity.
Yeah, I think it's fair to say. And what's crazy is I think the talent, especially offensively, that's around Jalen Hurts is more than what we had when McNabb was under center. You know what I mean? Like, undoubtedly, like I said, we had 2 receivers, catch for 100 yards, and I had a tight end go for 60. You know what I mean? And then our quarterback ran for 70. Now, where was our running backs that game? I can tell you they didn't show up to the Super Bowl. It's like defense. But regardless, I do think the trajectory that we're on, I mean, I personally feel like the NFC is ours for the taking. I don't really see, unless the 49ers can figure out their quarterback situation, the Cowboys figure out their quarterback situation.
Well, I don't. That's tough, but yeah. That's tough. Yeah, I don't want to say it's the quarterback situation, bro, but I don't know what to say it is either. Like it's so tough. I don't want to do the cop out. Oh, it's Jerry Jones. Like, it's not just Jerry Jones. Like
right.
But I don't know. Yeah, y'all are fortunate because the 49ers, I think, are going to be your biggest competition next year, unless there's some major trade.
I was telling everybody too going to the playoffs. I'm a big believer in when it gets to the playoffs, it's really 3 things, right? The trenches, coaching, and who is under center.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say health.
Well, that's a given. You know, the best ability is availability. And we were actually fortunate enough, because this is huge that people don't talk about it. We were actually able to make it to the Super Bowl healthy and actually come out of the Super Bowl healthy. Especially playing on that turf, it was looking really bad. I mean, call it turf. Play on that field, it was looking really scary out there for people. Like, I mean, Jake Elliott looked like he almost snapped his ankle on a kickoff, slipping on a kickoff. I was just like, this is for there to be no rain. We're just sliding everywhere. You know what I mean? So we were fortunate enough to actually come away from that game healthy. So I think as long as we can keep that health up, we're good. You know what I mean? Especially we have outside figured out Devontae, you know what I mean? AJ Brown, Goddard. Your offensive line, even if Kelsey retires, we can still move up one of the young guys and draft the O-lineman. When it comes to our D-line, you got Jordan Davis, who's ready to step into his spot. Even if we lose a guy like Fletch or Brandon Graham, we got Sweat on the outside as well. So we're probably going to need to go get another edge rusher. Either Hassan Reddick was amazing, but you always need, you know what I mean, somebody ready to be on that next man up mentality. Somebody kind of lighting that fire under those guys trying to take their job.
That's why I say you guys seem like you guys are set up nicely for the next 3 years too. So would you say we get a rematch Eagles Chiefs next year?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, now how much? And be honest, how much of that is fandom bias, and how much of that is like sports analytics?
No, seriously. I know this is me
Or
being
analytics.
as like unbiased as possible. I like. Can you name me 3 quarterbacks in the NFC better than Jalen Hurts right now? Or even let's not say better, set up better than Jalen Hurts right now.
I mean, that's tough. Like I said, y'all have the offense and defense. There aren't too many complete teams. So I would say the Vikings offensively,
right, but then you still got
better. But then defensively, it's like so like they could beat you guys because again, like we stated, it's a one game series.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I'll say this too: Kirk Cousins under those bright lights ain't always been the best.
You are absolutely right. But I will say this too: I have seen that man come down from 33 points. Now y'all are not the Colts, but I've seen that man come down. 33 points is 33 points. You gotta play who's in front of you. You
gotta play who's in front of you. Facts.
I don't know what to tell you. Facts. But like I said,
but then you look at the AFC, you got Patrick Mahomes, you got Joe Burrow, you got Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Trevor Lawrence. I mean,
let's
you know what I mean?
Say Lamar Jackson in the AFC just yet. Let's hold tight on that because he could transfer and go somewhere else. Like
I mean, well, that's why when I said name 3 quarterbacks, I hesitated because Aaron Rodgers is technically still in the NFL.
I was gonna say like A-Rod, hey.
Yeah, but if he go out there to New York, the AFC got even scarier. You know what I mean? So it's like
I gotta look at their offense because like
the Jets offense.
Don't get me wrong. I remember the Jets offense was cool. I have not studied the Jets. The Jets literally went from the team you don't need to study to the team you need to probably study.
Listen, Trey, how did I forget about Tua and his 2 speed demons on the outside? That's another one in the AFC. You know what I mean? Like Patrick Mahomes has a much steeper hill to climb than Jalen Hurts. If anything, Philly's lucky we're not in the AFC. That's where the luck comes in because
I'm not gonna lie though, y'all kind of got to worry about the Giants too if they can get like a solid wide receiver. They played really well this season too. I'm not talking maybe not next season, but like the season after that, I could see something.
I understand the Vanilla Vic fan base, but he is not that. Okay.
I just want to say for the record, the white Michael Vick is Sam Darnold. Let's say it with your chest, okay? It's not Sam Darnold's jersey. He got a 4 on the other side. 4 on the other side. But no. That's not what I was saying.
But I ain't gonna lie to Philly is quietly losing a lot. We have a lot of free agents to sign. So until off season comes, free agency comes, like we got a lot of stuff that we have more holes to fill than I would have liked to. And it sucks that people now have 20 weeks of film on our RPO action, which was so killer throughout the season. Now folk got 20 weeks of film to study. And so it's kind of like you really wanted to win it on the first go, just in case.
Just in case. Hey, I mean, y'all got to prove to us that, you can win it. Because if you can't, then maybe y'all were lucky.
Yeah, I mean,
I tied that all back to the top. Damn, that's smooth. Ooh, I like that. But look, we're gonna transition on to the NBA. Yep. I figured if I kept it going, he was gonna keep going for like another 30,000 minutes. And I guess, you got to let him vent, right? Usually he lets us vent, me and Freddie sometimes. So I got to let him vent sometimes. His team's just low. But we got to transition on to the NBA. We're gonna do it like that. Boom. So with that being said, Reese, let's just actually pull up this, right? Let's do this, make it easy on us.
Man, I just want to say one thing too as we transition. Philly defense, y'all got to do better, man. Y'all let my back down. Hold
on, you want a soapbox? You want a soapbox?
No. I said it in transition, and I don't need to say anything more.
I got you.
What? Look who's on top, baby. Look who's on top. This is where we switch.
All right, so we've been here before. Right? So let's focus on the playoffs, the teams in the playoffs. But I also want your take on this too, Reese, because I actually am trying to break down my playoff prediction. So I kind of want y'all. I want your thoughts on this. I have Celtics, Bucks, 76ers, Cavs, Knicks, Heat, Nets in that 7th spot right here.
Oh, okay. Wait, hold on. You're saying the order.
Yeah. So I'm reading off my personal right now, but you're seeing the current right now. So
okay,
I'm telling
say it again though, because I was definitely confused when you started.
Okay. So long story short, up to the 4th spot, we cool. Like I don't expect that to change.
I feel like that 4-game lead is healthy. That's a healthy 4-game lead.
And 2, as long as everybody healthy, that 4 should not change. So we cool.
I agree.
5 at Knicks. I'm sorry, Knicks at 5. That sounded weird. Heat at 6. Nets at 7th. And that's because of games. Like I don't.
Yeah.
And then Hawks at 8th. Toronto at 9th, and then the Wizards at the 10th spot. But here's the caveat. The Hawks and Toronto end up as the 7th and 8th spot because, if I'm not mistaken, the Nets would play the Hawks because it's 7, 8, and then 9 and 10, correct?
Yeah, and then the winner of 9-10 plays the loser of 7-8.
Yeah. So, by my estimation, I had the Hawks beating the Nets, and then the Raptors beating the Wizards. And then I got the Raptors beating the Nets. So we got the Hawks and the Raptors 7th and 8th.
It's crazy because I feel like on the last episode we did our buy sell and I bought Atlanta stock. And I kind of want to sell while it's high right now because I do think the Brooklyn Nets have assembled the most solid 3-and-D wing core in the league.
You want to sell on the Hawks right now?
I would sell. And listen, because I still think Toronto will make it as that 8th seed. I quietly feel like the Nets could be the 8th seed. And I feel like Toronto could.
So who's going to take them over the top? Because I still have Trae Young, who is, wait for it, 2nd in the East in scoring in terms of guards and 2nd in the NBA in assists. Then I got DeJounte Murray, who's no slouch also. Clint Capella's back. DeAndre Hunter's been throwing up 14 to 15 points a game and playing solid defense still. You got their bench hasn't been, the best, but it's been sufficient enough. So, and we're talking about the Nets. We're not talking about the Celtics, Bucks, 7. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not talking about the continue.
No, and that's what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. I think people are going to kind of go into that Nets game. Because, again, we talk about the play-in, same way we're talking about the playoffs or the football.
You think they can get off that one game?
One game, bro? The Nets can beat anybody one game.
So they do have some firepower. Spencer Dinwiddie's nothing to scoff at. I'm not the biggest fan of Spencer, but he's not
even the firepower.
Yeah,
you got a guy like
Cam Thomas, when you
got Nick Claxton giving you 4 blocks, Mikal Bridges locking up your best offensive talent, Cam Johnson and Ben Simmons.
Locking up is it depends on who. Could be a bit of a stretch too.
No.
Because I still got to worry about DeJounte Murray as well.
That's fine, but we got size for him though. That's what I'm saying. The Nets, if they put a lineup out there of Dinwiddie, Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, Ben Simmons, and Claxton, and then they match that up with the 5 on the other side. Okay, so Bridges takes Trae, Ben Simmons takes DeJounte Murray. Cam Johnson is used to running that small 4, so he'll be matched up against John Collins. So what?
You said Ben Simmons on Trae?
Ben Simmons or Mikal Bridges. You basically switch between you'll have Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and Ben Simmons basically throwing those guys in rotation.
I like that because I'm a Ben Simmons fan. I like that. My only hesitation is it's a little bit premature for Ben right now. Just a little bit. That's a
guy who uses all 6 fouls. I can't count him out as a defender.
He'll make it tough. He'll make it tough for them. It's just he's not the Ben Simmons that we saw defensively in the past. I think he can still get there. I told you and Freddie that plenty of times, but I don't think he's there just yet. But I do feel you on that. Like you said, one game could beat the Hawks. If I'm looking at that game on FanDuel, I gotta feel like the Hawks are winning that one. I think FanDuel also would as well.
Yeah.
But I'm not
it'll
mad
be,
at you
the
put
Nets.
money down for the Nets.
It would be an underdog. But when I see a guy like Mikal Bridges go for 45 against Miami Heat, who are actually a stout defensive team, and Atlanta is not known as a stout defensive team,
I
know.
I don't know if my worry is I don't know if the Nets can score enough with the Hawks. I think the Hawks can play well enough defense. I don't know if the Nets are going to be able to score enough right now. Like I know the potential that it has. It's just point in time. It could maybe, but I understand why you say Nets on that one. But so yours is Nets and then Toronto.
Yeah, I love Toronto, man. I hate them, but like I just love how they're built. I just love again another team that's built super well. But like look at it like this: the Nets have a very, very tough schedule in my opinion over these next 25 games, and I feel like if they can come out net positive still over that, then I think they'll kind of answer the question on if they can keep up scoring wise. Okay. All right, I got you. Now look, again, we're just talking about one game.
Yeah. No, I feel that. Okay. Now let's kind of dive on down to the West, because my boys is down here, right? Reese, as you can see, we're 13th. Not that bad. Because we're 14, usually do 12 and a half, and then a 12. Like we can climb up the ranks, as you can see here.
Yeah, right? y'all are 3 games behind the 6th seed. I get it. It's there. But the same thing I told you and Freddie, you gotta win the games, man.
No, I hear you. But like I've seen a team with 36 wins sneak into the playoffs. That's all I'm saying. So we are 9 games away. Like, hey, bro, like we can make something.
I saw it. Y'all have to win 15 of y'all in the last 24 games to make the playoffs. And the reason why I can say that number, or whoever came up with it can say that number so definitively, is because y'all play teams like the Warriors twice. Y'all play the Timberwolves twice. Y'all are gonna play the Mavericks twice, and y'all are gonna play the.
Yeah, I was about to say let's hold off for them. I was going to actually get back or get up to the. I was just pointing this out real quick. Yeah, I was just pointing this out real quick. But we got the Nuggets, the Grizzlies, and here's where we differ. Okay, I have the Kings dropping. I wish Freddie was on this one a little bit, but I have the Kings dropping because I have the Suns now rising. Ooh, that was nice. To 3rd. And then I got the Clippers at 4th. Now I got the Mavs at 5th. Pelicans at 6th. Kings at 7th. But that Pelicans at 6th,
you have the Kings dropping from 3 to 7?
Hold on. Hear me out. Look at this 8 to 10.5. And then that 11. So, like, I'm also factoring in, I'm hoping, and this was a little wishful, maybe Zion can come back a little healthy. But I do like the Pelicans team. So I think with the addition of BI coming back now, it seems like they got the chemistry good to go. Then they can sneak up a little bit. So I think the Kings can fall all the way to 7th. I really
what? Think they do. I'm looking at the Kings' final 25 games, and I think every game is against a playoff team. That's actually very unfortunate.
So like I said, they could actually drop
the only team that they're playing that is not currently in the playoffs and or play in would be the Trailblazers, and they played the Trailblazers and the Spurs. They played Trailblazers twice and played the Spurs once.
But here's the thing, though, the Trailblazers is right here. Like they're right in the
I was saying, but I'm still saying in that 1 to 10 range currently.
Oh yeah. But I'm saying I was saying their schedule is nothing to scoff at, because the Blazers are still a playoff team to me. Like the Blazers and Jazz really. The Jazz I don't believe in as much as the Blazers, but I also respect the Jazz too. Right. Where'd I stop at? Okay, so I got Kings at 7th, right? And then I got Warriors finishing off at 8th, Lakers at 9th, ooh, and then Blazers at 10th. That's like I had to talk about the boys because they can make the team. Unfortunately, though, they would lose to us in the play-in, and then this is with Steph coming back. They beat the Kings, and actually, maybe I'm glad Freddie didn't join the show because I do think that we actually beat the Kings.
You know what's crazy?
And sneak into that 8th spot.
That whole one game thing after watching the Super Bowl really has my mind because after seeing Dame put up 30.5 against y'all,
I feel you, but
I'm just saying I don't want to play against Damian Lillard for one game to decide my future. Me personally.
No, I'm hip. Because keep it a buck with you. It's not like Darren Fox is nothing to scoff at either. I'm not trying to play buddy because he's a tough mid-range. He's only making 1.7 mid-ranges per game, but he's a top mid-range shooter. So I got to worry about that. Plus he can drop 30. Sabonis can give me 20. You got Keegan Murray, Harrison Barnes. That's a tough team to go at too. All of these teams are scary. But the Warriors are defending champs. So the way I'm looking at it is the NBA wrote the script. We're not going to kick the Warriors out of the playoffs. You feel me?
Also, Darren Fox is absolutely averaging 28 and 6 and 5 against y'all.
I mean, that was also with a different Lakers team. Now we have a little bit more firepower, a couple more defensive players, a little bit more length, a little bit more.
Yeah. And Dame is averaging 35, 6 and 6 against y'all.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Dame was disgusting the other day. I was very distraught, man, because actually, I might have put money on him to have a good game, but it was only 2-3 threes though. It wasn't. Yeah. What do he have? 8? That.
I don't know, man. All I know is y'all should try to be the 6th seed. I don't want to be in the play-in. I just don't think the play-in is somewhere.
Okay, see right here, right? This is why I don't like Celtics fans. You said we should be in the 6th seed. That's cool. I wish we could be the 1st seed, but you said the 6th seed, and that's 10.5 games behind. Oh, no, that's 10.5 games. That's
3
14.
games.
So that's a lot. That's a lot. You said win games. I hear you. But you're acting like the Mavericks aren't going to win games either.
I'll be honest with you, the Mavericks ain't playing a lot of defense. They could lose some games.
That's fair to bring up. But I also don't think, too, they're going to continue playing lackadaisical defense. Who did they just lose to? I forget. But, the team where Kyrie drops 26 in the 4th quarter, I don't think they're going to have too many games going forward because of Jason Kidd. Now with Kyrie, you realize, all right, ownership is really watching you. Yes, we expected stuff, but now you have 2 legitimate stars on your squad. We need to see what you can do. So I'm expecting the Mavericks defense to be a little bit better because they actually have some versatile defenders on their squad. You said what?
I think it was the Timberwolves.
Yes, it was the Timberwolves. You're absolutely right. It is. And the Timberwolves are in a play-in scenario, they could be scary as well. You might look at them.
Is Cat coming back this season? Has anybody heard from him? Is Cat coming back this season?
Honestly, I don't think he is personally. Just because I haven't even done any research on Cat to know why are they keeping out this long now too? Because I forget what his injury was. I forget what they were saying.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I don't know if I ever knew what his injury was. I think I just saw that he was out.
I know I looked it up, and matter of fact,
let me see.
12 hours ago, calf sprain in November was to be less severe. That would keep him out.
It says he could return during their final 10 to 15 games.
Yeah. So we could potentially see him there too. So let's say that happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Karl Anthony Towns comes back, sneaks into the play-in games. That could make it tougher for us too, because that's still 25 and 10, or 20.
Next to Rudy Gobert. It's
possible. It's possible. So if I made my schedule with the anticipation that Cat was not coming back, but since he's coming back now, maybe this makes this a little difficult because they are currently sitting at the 8th spot.
Right.
These Warriors could get out of the playoffs if they're not careful. But like I said, I was just curious about You know, so like, is there any team in the? Let's go back up to the East. I guess. Is there anything that you're not buying mainly? Because I know you said the
In
Hawks.
the East?
Yeah, in the East. We're back about the East now, but we're gonna scroll back down to the West eventually.
I mean,
I know you said the Hawks
like,
you don't buy.
I personally feel like this 10 game, like these 10 people are gonna stay. Like these 10 teams are gonna stay where they are, and not stay where they are in terms of standings. But I'm saying they're gonna stay. They're gonna fluctuate between 7 and 10.
Okay.
And then whatever happens. I mean, shit. I'm just I just never want to be in the play-in because
I got you. No, I feel that. Been saying though, so I guess you gotta stick with that one. In the West, right? I know if Freddie was here, he would say the Kings. Who do you sell on? Who do you sell on nowadays? Like,
I'm gonna sell the Thunder.
Okay.
Even though I think they play y'all twice, and I think that they can split with y'all because they're petty. You see how they like? I just feel like
how they did us on yeah.
Yeah, they some young guys who really don't care. You know what I mean?
I'm not mad at them though. I do the exact same thing.
Absolutely. Sorry. So it's like that's my only like catch up for real. It's like if the Thunder is the only team that I can really see y'all taking out of that 10-man right there. And that's just because they're the closest. Like I really do think the Warriors are gonna win games. The Timberwolves keep winning. Like, you know what? Like the Timberwolves should not be winning games, but teams are letting them score 140 points. And it's just hard to beat a team when you're scoring 140.
But they got a respectable team, bro. Like even with trading D'Lo, like I didn't think that much of Mike Conley, but Mike Conley has been playing pretty decently. Like, all right, I got to tip my cap to Mike Conley, and I told Freddie at the beginning of the season I thought the Wolves could be a top 4 team if they really took stuff seriously. And Cat's been out a lot, so that's changed stuff drastically. But while he was playing, they looked terrible. So, but still, like the Timberwolves are nothing to scoff at. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, Reese. Although I had my Lakers in the play-in, sometimes I do think I want to sell on that stock. Like, I think we put ourselves in too big of a hole early on.
I'm telling you, bro, y'all just don't control your own destiny. That's just a hard place to be in.
Yeah.
Like, not only, like, y'all have to, like, they say y'all have to win 15 out of the 25, but it's like, y'all have to. So it's like that error margin. Like, if y'all win 14 games, y'all don't make it. You know what I mean? So it's like,
That's not that bad. That's a little bit over 50% though. Like,
have you seen who y'all play?
No, I hear you. But I mean, if we're supposed to be that team anyway, then we should be able to win. Like,
all right. So look, I'm gonna run off your next 10 games. You just tell me win or loss, okay?
Oh, here. Matter of fact, let's do it like this.
All right. Cool. Yeah, put it up. Because I mean, I feel like y'all should win the first game after the All-Star break. But that's if that light-skinned assassin don't come back.
Honestly, I don't think he will, because they're probably going to think more so playoffs, because they know they're in the play-in right now and they have a cushion over a couple people. So I wouldn't be. Yeah, that is tricky though. But yeah, we can beat them. Okay, I think we can beat them still because we have the physicality advantage. They don't have Steven Adams, so we can still beat them.
Still, are you sure he's going to be gone still after the All-Star break?
Out 3 to 5 weeks. That was reported in January 25th. He won't play against the Jazz. He'll miss 11 straight PCL. Okay. All right. So maybe when he comes back, he comes back in limited minutes.
All right. So we
got Minnesota. OKC. Man, like when it's tricky. I think Steph may be coming back around this time. Like, because, the season ramping up. Like,
I got you but real quick, I just want to make sure I'm keeping this right. Are we 3-3 so far? So that's 1 win against Golden State.
Reese, I don't know, bro. Look, all I'm saying, man, is they get tricky. All right, like a win, tricky. Tricky, win, tricky. Damn.
Tricky. Keep going.
Tricky.
Oopsie.
All right, that's a dub. I don't care what no one says. Forget Jalen Green. Listen. listen to me. Damn it, no, wrong word. Listen, if the Lakers do not beat these boys, where is it? Right here, Houston. If we cannot get this W, ass. That's all it wants. That's all it wants.
Okay,
Right
but
now.
after Houston, right? Is by then that Jason Kidd defense would have gone into play by March 17th.
All right, it get a little tricky. It
gets tricky.
But I'm gonna say this though, we gonna dog walk Orlando.
How the hell do y'all have Orlando and Houston in the second half? Like, what is that?
Wait, cause it's again. Ooh. But you know
Honestly,
what's great though?
But I have y'all. I have y'all
Kevin
beating
Durant twice.
I have y'all beating Utah twice.
I'll take that.
But that's
And
five. That's
I
five
think
guaranteed
Chicago
wins.
going at minimum split.
So look, that's 5 guaranteed wins. If you split it, I'm talking about between the 2 Houston games and the 2 against Utah and the 1 against Orlando. That's 5 guarantees.
And then 1 against OKC.
Yeah, y'all got to
Let 'em
split.
twice.
Y'all have to split. OKC.
Yeah,
at least.
we literally have to. So we got to split. Actually,
Y'all play a lot of teams
So we got to
twice.
at least split or win the series against everybody, or win if we're playing them if we're playing them one time. Because Dallas we played twice. The Memphis Grizzlies we played 3 times, if I'm not mistaken. I could have sworn I just saw them 3 times.
Any of them? The white
Am I
one?
bugging? We played one team 3 times. I swear to you, I thought I saw it. Anyways, we got to split the series on when we play the teams twice, and then win every team that we. It's like New York, Orlando.
You just say New York is one of those teams that is an Orlando.
No. I'm talking about the team that we only play once.
Oh,
we have to win those games.
Yeah,
flat out. And even with the win the series ones, I'm not even liking that.
It's crazy because it's crazy.
Look,
y'all play the Clippers, and I'm not saying that's a guaranteed L, but y'all ain't beat them in a long time. Y'all ain't beat the Clippers in a long time.
I mean, the good thing about it is
it's so late that it probably won't matter. Yeah.
Well, no, it's also a home game for us too. So I think our players will be a little comfortable. I mean, you know what I mean. So, but it'll be a tricky season. But we gotta see how this whole playoff thing shakes out because there's a lot more basketball left. We'll save that for another time. Reese, I appreciate you though for coming on to the show, though, my boy. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we close up shop?
Hey man, Jalen Hurts, man, get back in the gym, cuz. Keep making them deposits. Rent due every day. Rent is due every day.
No, that's real. Like success is earned, not given. So, and unfortunately, this man Brown said that. Well, it was one of a couple people that said it, but I just wanted to note to last. Is that I just want to know, does that qualify as me not hating because I gave him credit for a quote?
Oh my goodness! Make sure you record that and send it to Freddie. Make sure you record that.
I got you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hope you all had a good one, and stay tuned. Take care.
I did not know you guys were still here. As you can see, we're at the back end of the show. No pun intended, but look, hope you all enjoyed it. And before you go, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the IG account, share the content to anybody who's anybody. And most importantly, leave your thoughts and comments below. But I got to go back and play Buddy in 2K, so let me unmute him real quick. Excuse me. Hey, boss, I'm back. Nah, you better catch this word. You know we get buckets around here.